Do you feel trapped in your own thoughts? Today we'll talk about 10 lessons to help you overcome overthinking and how Stoicism can guide you. Stoics believe that we cannot control external events, only how we react to them. The first lesson: identify what you can control. Write down your thoughts. Stoicism teaches us to express what bothers us. Turn your anxiety into clarity. Remember, inner peace is a choice. Practice this and watch your mind calm down. Like and subscribe for more tips. 1. Action over analysis. Instead of getting lost in thoughts and doubts, it's important to act. Action brings progress, while overthinking leads to paralysis. This echoes Stoic lessons that teach us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest representatives of this philosophy, reminds us that our mind can become fertile ground for worry, where anxieties grow like weeds. When we give in to indecision, we drift away from our goals. Procrastination becomes a trap, keeping us in a vicious cycle of doubts that prevent us from moving forward. The fear of failure or striving for perfection paralyzes us while time keeps moving. So instead of waiting for perfect conditions or magical inspiration, we should find courage in small, everyday actions. Each step, no matter how small, brings us closer to what we want to achieve. It is in practice that we find clarity and strength. We can remember that even the greatest leaders and innovators started with simple decisions, facing challenges that seemed insurmountable. History is full of examples of people who, in moments of uncertainty, chose to act, and it was this determination that led them to success. So let's embrace action. If we fail, we'll learn. If we succeed, we'll grow. Life is a continuous process of trial and error. Every move we make teaches us something valuable. Instead of diving into endless analysis, let's move forward with courage and determination, following the path we've chosen. You're not that special. A reminder that the world doesn't revolve around us eases the pressure of worrying about others' perceptions, allowing us to live more authentically. This thought, inspired by the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, encourages us to reassess our priorities and how we interact with the world. When we free ourselves from the endless pursuit of approval, we create space for the true essence of who we are. Life becomes lighter and more meaningful when we understand that everyone has their own struggles, fears, and dreams. No one is the center of the universe, and this realization allows us to form more genuine connections with others. Instead of acting merely to please or impress others, we can focus on living according to our own values and beliefs. This authenticity is a form of liberation. It allows us to act in alignment with our principles without the burden of external expectations. Moreover, by letting go of the need for validation, we become more resilient. Criticism and judgment from others lose their power over us because we understand that other people's opinions do not define our identity. In doing so, we create a safer and calmer inner space where self-confidence can flourish. This path requires courage and self-awareness, but the reward is immense. A fulfilled life where every choice reflects our true nature and every interaction becomes an opportunity for learning and growth. By focusing on being authentic, we not only enhance our own well-being, but also contribute to a more empathetic and genuine world. 3. Comparison is the thief of joy. Comparing ourselves to others diminishes self-esteem. Focusing on our own achievements and values is crucial for personal satisfaction. This idea strongly resonates with the reflections of Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers. In his meditations, he emphasizes the importance of living in accordance with reason and inner principles, rather than being influenced by others' opinions or societal standards of success. When we constantly compare ourselves to others, we create a vicious cycle of dissatisfaction. Often we see only the achievements of others, ignoring their struggles and challenges. This distorted perception can lead to disappointment and feelings of inadequacy. Instead of celebrating our own successes, we remain in the shadow of others' triumphs, forgetting that every path is unique and everyone has their own obstacles to overcome. Focusing on our own accomplishments, even the smallest ones, and acknowledging our inner values are important steps in cultivating self-esteem. By practicing gratitude for our experiences and lessons, we begin to realize that our worth is not tied to external comparisons, but to our ability to face challenges and grow from them. Thus, When we distance ourselves from comparisons and embrace our uniqueness, we become more resilient. Self-compassion becomes a powerful ally, allowing us to accept our imperfections and celebrate our victories. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that true peace and contentment come from within, from a life lived in accordance with our own principles, rather than external measures of success. So, let's cultivate our self-worth by focusing on who we are and what we have already achieved. 4. Perfection is a myth. The pursuit of perfection can lead to stress and anxiety, turning our days into a constant battle with unrealistic expectations. Often we lose ourselves in unattainable standards, fueling disappointment and self-criticism. Yet, accepting imperfection is a vital step toward personal growth. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we discover that mistakes are valuable learning opportunities. Every failure is a lesson in disguise, a chance to reflect on our choices and shape more authentic versions of ourselves. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the philosophy of Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. This helps us find peace amid chaos. Rather than fixating on an endless pursuit of perfection, we should appreciate our experiences and the imperfections that make us unique. True growth occurs when we look inward and realize that the journey is more important than the destination. By freeing ourselves from the pressure to be perfect, we begin to create space where creativity and innovation can flourish. This freedom allows us to explore new ideas and approaches while embracing authenticity in our lives. Ultimately, by learning to live with imperfections, we arrive at a richer, more meaningful existence where every step, whether right or wrong, contributes to our evolution. Embracing imperfection is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to our inner strength and resilience. By allowing ourselves to be imperfect, we embrace our humanity and open the door to genuine growth. 5. Your emotions are not your reality. Emotions are natural, but they should not dictate our decisions. It is important to acknowledge the feelings that arise in everyday life, whether it's anger at an injustice, sadness over the loss of something dear, or joy at personal achievements. These emotions, although intense, should not distort our perception of reality. Stoicism, as taught by Marcus Aurelius, urges us to reflect on the relationship between emotions and reason. When we allow emotions to govern our actions, we risk acting impulsively, harming not only ourselves but also those around us. This is when the practice of self-awareness becomes crucial. By recognizing what we feel, we gain the ability to process these emotions constructively. For example, in conflict situations, instead of reacting with immediate anger, we can choose to pause and reflect, striving to understand the root of our feelings and how they influence our decisions. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that true wisdom lies in understanding that, while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions to them. Developing this ability to respond thoughtfully allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with greater balance and clarity. Rather than being swept away by the current of emotions, we can consciously choose how to react, staying true to our values and goals. By balancing emotions with reason, we not only become more resilient, but also wiser in our decisions. Ultimately, true freedom lies in knowing that even in the midst of an emotional storm, we always have the ability to choose. 6. Focus on what you can control. Concentrate on the actions that are within your control and avoid wasting energy on external factors. This powerful maxim from Marcus Aurelius, one of the key thinkers of Stoicism, urges us to reflect on the nature of our daily worries. So often we lose hours, even days, fretting over situations beyond our control, like the opinions of others, life circumstances, or mistakes made by others. This excessive worry not only drains our energy, but also distracts us from our true essence and purpose. By directing our focus to what we can genuinely influence, our actions, reactions, and decisions, we become more resilient and proactive. For instance, we can decide how to respond to criticism or how to deal with challenges at work. When we are focused on our actions, we learn to accept that life is full of uncertainties and that we cannot control everything. This acceptance allows us to find inner peace and strength to move forward, no matter the difficulties we encounter. Moreover, practicing Stoicism helps us develop a sense of responsibility for our lives. Every small action we take becomes an opportunity to cultivate virtues such as courage, justice, and wisdom. Instead of succumbing to a sense of helplessness, we can commit to acting in ways that reflect our values and goals. Thus, by embracing the idea that control lies within us, we become the architects of our destiny, allowing ourselves to live a more complete, meaningful, and authentic life. 7. Learning as a process. Every mistake should be viewed as an opportunity for growth, a stepping stone toward adaptation and self-improvement. This perspective invites us to see failures not as defeats, but as necessary stages on the path to self-discovery. When we encounter obstacles or make mistakes, it's natural to feel frustration or dissatisfaction. However, it's crucial to turn those feelings into fuel for our personal development. Stoic philosophy, championed by thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, teaches us to cultivate resilience in the face of adversity. He reminds us that while we cannot control everything around us, we can control our reactions and attitudes. Thus, when we fail, we are given the chance to reflect on what happened, analyze the causes of the mistake, and learn from it. This approach allows us to adjust our behavior and expectations, fostering genuine growth. Furthermore, each mistake can serve as an invitation to introspection, urging us to reassess our beliefs and gain a deeper understanding of our limitations. Recognizing failures as an integral part of life allows us to become more compassionate towards ourselves and others. This practice not only strengthens our character, but also prepares us to face new challenges with a more open and adaptive mindset. In conclusion, by adopting this perspective, we can transform every mistake into a valuable lesson. This is the essence of Stoicism, learning to live wisely, even amidst difficulties. Therefore, instead of fearing mistakes, we should embrace them as allies on our journey towards growth and self-discovery. 8. Free yourself from unrealistic expectations. Impossible expectations lead to disappointment. Often, we are made to believe that we should achieve outstanding results in a short time. This pressure can be overwhelming, ultimately leaving us demotivated and frustrated. By constantly comparing ourselves to others, their achievements, and what seems like a flawless path, we forget that each person has their own story, filled with unseen struggles and obstacles. Appreciating progress, no matter how small, brings satisfaction. Instead of focusing solely on the end goals, we must learn to value the small victories we accumulate along the way. Every step forward, no matter how tiny, is a sign of growth and resilience. Practicing gratitude here becomes essential. Acknowledging and celebrating these small accomplishments can help us build a positive and motivating mindset. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most prominent figures of Stoicism, reminds us that life is full of uncertainties, and how we respond to them determines our happiness. Instead of succumbing to frustration, he teaches us to cultivate patience and acceptance. By adopting a more compassionate approach to ourselves and our efforts, we can find deeper meaning in our life's journey. Thus, instead of sinking into the idea of perfection, embrace the process, value your achievements, and, above all, allow yourself to be human. 9. Live according to your priorities. Authenticity is more valuable than external approval. In a world full of voices and opinions, where social pressure often drives us to adjust our actions and decisions to please others, it's important to remember that true fulfillment comes from within. Act with integrity and strive for your own values, as they form the foundation of a meaningful life. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminds us of the importance of living according to our true nature. He emphasized that external approval is fleeting, while inner satisfaction, the result of living authentically, is lasting. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of the opinions of others, which are often based on superficial expectations. When we act with integrity, we align our actions with our values and beliefs.